What is up, everybody? It's your boy Jay, back at it again for another video on Real Sports Talk. And today, I want to talk about Dak Prescott, man. This Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott situation. Now, we've seen a lot of, if you've been in the news, if you've been on Twitter, Instagram, any of the social medias, if you even been watching First Take or any of them shows, you would know Russell Wilson has some teams that he would prefer to go to if he was to get traded. Now, he has not, asked for a trade, but he knows that there's a rift between him and Seattle. He wants to be protected, and he feels like if they can't give that to him, he would like to go elsewhere with his career. Can't blame him for it. He's been sacked too much. He's a great quarterback. Can't blame him for it. But I saw Dallas on that list, and it started a lot of frenzy amongst the Cowboys fans. There's a big group of Cowboys fans that say they want Russell Wilson. They don't want to pay Dak Prescott $40 million because they don't feel like he deserves it. They don't feel like, hey, he's not a Super Bowl champion. He's not as good as Patrick Mahomes. He's not as good as Deshaun Watson. Russell Wilson is better than that in some people's eyes. That's how those people think. If Russell Wilson came to Dallas with our offensive line, Zeke, and receivers, we'll go to a Super Bowl. That's what I heard. That's fine. But I disagree. I'm on the side of the Cowboys fans who say we want our quarterback. He's been here for 4 years, maybe 5 years. And he's 42-27. We've won more games than we lost since he's been our quarterback. We've had 3 winning seasons since he's been our quarterback. And he played in 4 full ones. So what does that tell you? He's only had 1 season where he was 8-8. Never had a losing season in his career as the starting quarterback for all 16 games. That's who Dak Prescott is. Dak Prescott was not great coming out of Dallas, coming out of Mississippi State to Dallas. He was a 4th round pick. He came in. We had a really good offensive line. We had some decent wide receivers. We had a really great running game. And we were able to run that thing all the way to the divisional round, and we lost. The defense gave up like 30-something points to Aaron Rodgers. Dak did his best to come back with the offense. Dez had a great game. Zeke had a great game. We lost. We felt really great about our quarterback, about our team after that game. Then we go into the other years. People get hurt. Zeke gets suspended. We go 9-7. Dak doesn't have a great season. Dak doesn't have his full team. We start thinking maybe Dak ain't who we think he is. Then we go into 2018. Dak Prescott starts the season off struggling. No receivers. A rookie, Michael Gallup, that's a 3rd rounder. Deontay Thompson, Cole Beasley, and Zeke. We're not having a great start. People want Dak gone. Want to draft somebody else at quarterback. Amari Cooper's traded to Dallas. Now we go on this streak. We go like 7-1. Go to the playoffs. Dak Prescott plays amazing in that playoff game versus Russell Wilson. In my opinion, outplays Russell Wilson in the playoff game and gets to the divisional round, where our defense gave up 30 points and allowed Chris Anderson and Gurley to run wild on us for like 295, 300 yards rushing. And we lose. But we feel good about our team. We feel good about our quarterback. We had a good year. So now we fire Linehan. We bring in Kellen Moore. We go into the 2019 season. And we go 8-8. Dak had a really good year numbers-wise, but the team really didn't produce. But we feel good about our team. We just want Garrett gone. We get Garrett gone. Mike McCarthy comes to the Cowboys. We start off kind of rough, but we have a really good game against the Giants. We start playing really well, and then Dak gets hurt. And now Andy Dalton comes in, and we suck. And now look at it. Now we're here. 4 or 5 years later, saying Russell Wilson is better than Dak and that he should be our quarterback. Not the fact that Dak has led us to the 13-3 season, 10-6 season, playoff win versus Seattle. Not that Dak is one of the most winningest quarterbacks in football right now. We got guys still saying Deshaun Watson, I want Deshaun. I'm not paying Dak $40 million. His ankle's bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Dak Prescott is the Cowboys. Let's stop bringing up these other quarterbacks. Dak Prescott has won for us. He may not have won the Super Bowl. He may not have won the playoffs. But why are we always trying to get rid of Dak? It seems like every year, because he's not Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, he's not great. He's not up there with Deshaun. He's not up there with these other top guys. But his stats show it, and his play shows it. Everybody talking about, well, if you sign Dak to $40 million, what happens if we can't sign nobody? We don't sign nobody anyways, guys. We never will. If Dak doesn't even become our quarterback, I guarantee you, we still don't sign a lot of people. Because that's just not what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys draft well. You look at the offense of the Cowboys. Michael Gallup drafted. Amari Cooper was traded for a first-round pick. The whole offensive line down there drafted. DAK Prescott was drafted. Ezekiel Elliott was drafted. Tony Pollard was drafted. Dalton Schultz drafted. Blake Jarwin, undrafted free agent. CeeDee Lamb drafted. You go on the defensive side. Gallimore, who in my opinion improved over the season, was drafted. Tristan Hill, who we liked in this season before he got hurt, drafted. Randy Gregory, who came back and gave us a spark on the defensive line, drafted. Our boy DeMarcus Lawrence, who we love sometimes and we hate others, drafted. Trevon Diggs, who we think is a stud and is going to be our Byron Jones replacement for the near future, drafted. Donovan Wilson, who we love this season and been praying for him to get on the field, been calling to the Cowboys, get this man on the field, and he produced. He was drafted. The Cowboys don't sign these guys. They don't go out there and spend $10 million. Yeah, we paid for like Brandon Carr in like 2012. But we don't do that no more. We draft. So why are we so concerned about if we don't have enough cap space? We don't use it. We just going to re-sign the guys that we have, and we're going to build through the draft. We're going to draft well. You can't tell me that there's a position that we need that we can't draft. Well, Jay, we need a really good offensive tackle because Tyron Smith stayed hurt, and I don't really like our guard position. Draft Rashawn Slater in the first round. He's a good guard and tackle. Beat on Chase Young twice in his college career. Draft him. Now you got your tackle field. He probably gonna be a future Pro Bowler. Well, we need a safety because Xavier Woods suck. Richie Grant out of UCF is nice. Ardarius Washington out of TCU is nice. They'll come in right now and be better than Xavier Woods. Now your safety spot field. Well, we need a corner, man. Anthony Brown, we don't like him. Kevin Joseph might be there at 44 because some people don't like his character, but he's a really good corner. Draft him and he'll be as good, if not better than what Cheeto Bay was. You wanna know why? Because Dallas draft well. Do the same thing we did when we had this problem years ago. Well, Sean Lee getting old. We got to draft. We drafted Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Well, the offensive line, we drafted. We got Lyle Collins and drafted Connor Williams and drafted Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith. We did all this. We need receivers. We drafted Gallup. We need a running back. We drafted Zeke. We need a backup. We drafted Pollard. We need a quarterback to back up Tony for the future. We drafted Dak. Stop coming to me and saying that y'all scared to pay Dak $40 million because, the cap space. We don't use it, Cowboys fans. We can draft. We know how to draft. We've been able to draft. We don't need to sign J.J. Watt to a $15 million deal. We don't need to sign Justin Simmons to a $13 million deal. Just keep doing what you've been doing, drafting. Just keep drafting and adding some bargain free agent veterans to come in and help the team out. Just keep doing that. And eventually your team going to get better and better and better, and it's going to be ready to compete. I know what people are going to say, well, Josh, we haven't really been a competitive team just drafting. That's why we got to go get those splash guys. Man, we had a sorry coach, and we still was a 13-3 team, top team in the NFC, and we still was a 10-6 team, one of the top teams in the NFC. Don't tell me about that. We got a better coach now. Let them have some years. Let them have a full offseason with the team before we start saying that our process don't work. Because we got into a top playoff spot twice just drafting players. So don't tell me it don't work. It works. I'm just saying, like, Cowboys fans, why would we want to trade Dak for a $5 million difference for a quarterback that Dak, in my opinion, can be just as good as? Dak is the leader of this team. You see how many players on this team want Dak here? Blake Jarwin, Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, all these guys. Jalen Smith, they want Dak. They didn't say they want Russ. They want Dak Prescott. So you bring back your quarterback. You bring back the leader of your team. Don't worry about cap space because you draft well and you know how to bring in bargain free agents. You have a new coach. You have a new defensive coordinator. You have young players that you drafted that are starting to play better. Neville Gallimore, you like him. He's starting to play better. Trevon Diggs really good. Donovan Wilson really good. Let those folks develop. Let them get full offseason. Randy Gregory, really good. We don't know if our defense is always going to be trash. We don't need to go out there and try to sign all these good guys. Let's keep the guys we got and let them develop. Before it's only year 5 with Dak and we already ready to get them out of here? So we can, save $5 million? For what? And then trade our first round pick along with it or our second round pick? For what? Well, we can use that to draft a Pro Bowler like we done before? To draft one of a top safety or a top linebacker or a top corner like we done before? That's crazy. That's crazy, Cowboys fan. You have a quarterback right now that is just as good, if not on that level of good, as Russell Wilson is. Let's not act like Russell Wilson is some world beater. Russell Wilson was in the Super Bowl because his defense was amazing. If you give Dak Prescott in 2016 the Legion of Boom, you think we lose to Green Bay? If you give Dak Prescott in 2018 the Legion of Boom, what do you think he does? Russell Wilson without the Legion of Boom has only got to like a wild card game, won a wild card game, and got to the division round and lost. What has he done that he ain't got to a conference championship? It ain't like without the Legion of Boom, this man Russell Wilson then got further than what Dak has gotten us. He hasn't. They've both been players that won a playoff game and got to a divisional round and lost. What do you mean? Like, what are you even saying, bro? And Dak is younger. He's just entering his prime, and we don't know how good he can be. But we gonna trade him because we want to save $5 million? Because we don't want to pay Dak Prescott? Because we want to sign guys in free agency? Because we're worried about an ankle when so many people have had ankle injuries and came back dominant? Like Deshaun Watson tore his ACL not too long ago, came back, he's still great. Some of y'all want him over that. So what are we concerned about? You can throw all the concerns on the list and it won't matter because I'm staying fast right now, Cowboys fan. The ankle will heal well. They talking about he come back by training camp. You shouldn't worry about that. Nowadays, ACL injuries, man, unless you have multiple upon multiple, they most likely just end up being really good when they come back. That's how players are nowadays. This ain't early 2000s, 1990s. No. You can't tell me you worried about the cap space because, bro, we draft well and we barely use our cap space, and there's only a $5 million difference from Dak salary of $40 million to Russell's salary of $5. Like, it's not that big of a deal, y'all. You can't tell me that Russell Wilson gonna make the team so much better because what has he really done without the Legion of Boom? We don't know. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. He's putting up top numbers. Even before he got hurt this season, he was putting up top numbers. Why would you trade that? For what? You don't need the cap space. It's only a $5 million difference. And if it's more than 5, what is it? 7, 8. Come on, man. You ain't really gonna get that much better because your defense isn't great. It ain't as great as them Seattle defenses were. It ain't like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Chris Carson wasn't there when Seattle went to the playoffs last season and lost. Don't tell me that he ain't had no talent around him, because he did. Like, come on. Don't tell me they weren't there the year before that when he lost. Russell Wilson ain't done nothing special, y'all. He won a Super Bowl when he had a stat defense and a really good offense. So what? Dak Prescott went 13-3 with an average defense. And Dez Bryant is his number 1 wide receiver. And as much as I'm a Dez Bryant fan, we all know he wasn't the world beater that he once was. Dak Prescott went 10-6 with a good run defense but a bad pass defense. Went 10-6 and went on the streak and almost came back against the Rams even though our defense sold the game. Let's give Dak Prescott a chance. Let's pay him his money. Let's let him hit his prime. Not everybody got to be Patrick Mahomes. That's only one pat. You know what I'm saying? So stop tripping about the money. Stop tripping about the ankle. Stop tripping about what you think Russell Wilson might be, because he ain't. Dak Prescott is the leader of this team. He's the future of this team. He is one of the best players in this team, in this league. He's one of the best quarterbacks in this league, and he's only getting better every single season we see him. Why trade that? Come on, Cowboys fan. That's all I got to say about it, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, man. If y'all like the video, y'all let me know. Peace.